The Eiffel Tower. Even though the Iron Giant's 2-year construction in 1889 left Parisians unimpressed, it ended up being a success. The Eiffel Tower is 985 feet tall on average. But I say usually since its height varies. It can contract by 6 inches when it gets cold. In any case, you would need $1.2 million worth of supplies, including iron, rivets, paint, and light bulbs, in addition to your neighbor's consent to erect an Eiffel Tower in your backyard. In addition, the building crew wouldn't accept payment of less than $30 million. Ultimately, you'll spend just over $31 million. Number 11. The Statue of Liberty. The statue's original name, the iconic Liberty Enlightening the World, was created in France and then presented to the US in 1886 as a gift. This famous structure, which rises 305 feet or nearly 30 stories from the ground to the torch's tip, took almost 10 years to build. Today, it would cost $780,000 in materials, copper, steel, and concrete, and $500,000 in labor to erect the same statue. Consequently, your Statue of Liberty project would have a total cost of roughly $1.3 million. Number 10. The Leaning Tower of Pisa. The tower was built for 200 years, beginning in the 12th century. Unfortunately, the earth under the foundation was too soft to withstand the 15,000 tons of the tower's weight. Because of this, it came to be known as leaning. According to legend, the architect didn't notice the discrepancy because one of his legs was shorter than the other. The white marble used to make the Tower of Pisa would cover over $3 million to recreate on your own. To that, $1.2 million would be added by the cranes and labor. Remember to build it in an appropriate location, so you'll invest more than $4.2 million in total. Number 9. Stonehenge. This monument is among the oldest and most well-known ones in the world. If you squint, someone has left a massive pair of dentures. Giant 25-ton megaliths, or big, upright stones erected by humankind thousands of years ago, make up the structure. The landmark is made of 2 different stones, and it took 1,500 years to build everything. Accordingly, the cost will be $1 million for the smaller sarsen stones, $100,000 for the larger blue stones, another $100,000 for trenching, and $2.3 million for labor and cranes. About $3.5 million was the total. Number 8. The Hanging Gardens of Babylon. No one is certain whether the fabled ancient hanging gardens exist or not, but if they were real, they must have been outstanding. The impressive assortment of different vines, shrubs, and trees in the tiered garden gave them the appearance of enormous green mountains made of mud bricks. You would need to invest $21.5 million in materials and landscape architects if you wanted to replicate the same sanctuary. You can wave goodbye to the sum of $31.5 million as the workers take their $10 million. Well, I hope that a garden that cost this much will still be able to calm you down. Number 7. The Parthenon. The construction of this Greek temple, whose base is roughly half the size of a football field, took 9 years to complete. The cost to rebuild the well-known landmark now is over $35 million. For the 100,000 tons of marble that will be required, more than $30 million. More than $100,000 for the 69 columns, and more than $90,000 for the 50 marble statues that will adorn the building. They'll need roughly $4.5 million for their laborious work, and don't forget the cranes. Number 6. The Taj Mahal. it would be best if you visited Agra, India to witness the splendor of the magnificent Taj Mahal mausoleum. It took more than 20 years to construct this marble marvel. The building's materials, transported from all around Asia, are 561 feet tall, or almost 2 Lady Liberties placed on top of one another. Get ready to shell out $3 million for the bricks, $23.5 million for the marble, $15 million for the garden, and $2 million for the dome to construct one today. Add another $60 million for labor costs and $10 million for semi-precious stones. Expect to spend roughly $115 million total. Number 5. Angkor Wat. The largest temple complex on Earth is rumored to be hidden deep within the Cambodian forest. 4 times the size of the Mall of America, the monument spans more than 400 acres. 5 million tons of sandstone from mountains 31 miles away were transported there to be used in its construction. You would need to spend about $2 million on the land plot to build a modern duplicate of this wonderful location. 20 million more should be added for the labor and the foundational elements. You would need to spend an additional $20 million on exquisite sculptures similar to those that adorn the original monument. You now possess a new Angkor Wat after spending $42 million. Number 4. Machu Picchu. Machu Picchu is a site in the Peruvian Andes at over 7,000 feet. It was constructed in 1450 BCE, and one of the new 7 wonders of the world in 2007 was named after it. It is thought that hundreds of workers moved 50-pound pebbles up rocky mountain slopes while constructing the beautiful landmark, which consists of 150 buildings. Fortunately, you wouldn't need to employ such time-consuming techniques today. The materials, mostly granite, would cost $57 million, while the labor and cranes cost $13 million. The sum of $70 million, and presto! Number 3. The Colosseum. Rome's Colosseum is the largest amphitheater in the world and was constructed from stone and concrete. With 80 entrances to reduce traffic, the spectacular building could accommodate 50,000 people. Emperors offered free food and refused to charge an entrance fee to win over the populace. Additionally, in the arena, you witness some fauna like lions. On the other hand, you might need to charge people so that you can pay back the money you spent, because you'd need $200 million just for the limestone alone. The elliptical structure would be $215 million. And with $22 million spent on cranes and labor, the total cost of the modernized Colosseum would approach $437 million. Number 2. The Great Pyramids of Giza. Another member of the 7 wonders of the world, the pyramid was built some 4,000 years ago. More than 2 million limestone blocks, weighing around 2.5 tons each, were used to construct the entire structure. And it took tens of thousands of people anywhere from 30 years to finish the project. The overall cost of building such a massive monument now would be a staggering $1.2 billion. Yeah, billion with a B. This figure would account for the about $1.1 billion spent on limestone blocks, the roughly $60 million spent on cranes, and the more than $40 million paid to the laborers. On this list, it isn't the project with the highest cost. So do you have any guesses as to who will win? Our winner at number 1 is the Great Wall of China. Over 2,000 years were spent on the original wall's construction. Its overall length is 13,000 miles, which is only half the circle of the Earth. The Great Wall is a collection of numerous different walls, not just one. But going back to our money issue, purchasing all the required components will cost you about $21 billion. The exact amount will be required to persuade the builders to begin construction. Consequently, $42 billion will be needed to build the Great Wall of your own. Give the video a like and share it with your friends if you learned something new today. And also check out some more videos from our channel. Thank you for watching, and I hope to see you in the next one. Bye!